Hi everyone. So this is what we're working on today. It's stringer jewelry. Let's see if I can show you. Look how thin that is. Let's see. Oh, lost an earring. Do you see how thin that is? And how much information, how much detail is in that little slice. So that's kind of cool. Oh, I'm dropping earrings like crazy. Let's move that. Get my earrings. And I did it as a jewelry set way back when I made this thing. I'm going to say 5 or 6 years ago, a very long time ago. But you can, it doesn't have to be jewelry. It can be a tray. It can be anything. And I did this in a kiln, but you could certainly do it in a microwave kiln if you had one. Just adjust, you know your microwave kilns. But one benefit is they're very lightweight. Let me see if I can take this off. Yeah. So I want you to see how thin that is and how much glass is in there. Now in this one, there's no clear. This is just stringers, and you can tell by the bottom of it how it was laid out. And the earrings the same way. I mean, look how micro thin they are. They're super thin. You can tell by the bail underneath how thin that is, and when you compare it to the glass, super thin. And that's because there's no clear on it. But that doesn't mean you can't use clear. You can certainly use clear. I've got a few examples here, and some of them I used the regular 3mm, and some I used thin. You just have to adjust your firing schedule, because otherwise it's going to want to pull up and become 6mm, right? So we just don't want to fire too hot. All right, so let's get started on this. What do you do? What do you need? You need stringers. You can use 2mm stringers or 3mm stringers, whatever you've got. And you can mix them. You can certainly mix them. Let's see. I'm going to bring out my little kiln shelf. Oh, there's so much on here, guys. All right, little kiln shelf. And this is like a fiber board. We don't need a lot of weight. I don't need kiln posts or anything. I like this fiberboard, but if you can't get it, use whatever you've got, right? I just happen to have a lot of this laying around. On your kiln shelf, you can use kiln wash or thin fire papyrus. I've got papyrus on here. I've got my little separators, my little bricks. And this one, I didn't even bother to put these. So this one has clear. It's thin and 3mm or 2mm, right? Thin, clear, and 2mm stringers, so you can see that, and that's pretty awesome. But this one is just stringers. This is all 2mm stringers, so you can see sort of how that looks. Right, so I just lined up one edge. I didn't worry about the top edge. And the way I did that was stacked them between two of these little bricks. So let's get some colors out. I've got them down here. These were extra when I was making these little examples. And these are 1mm. All right, so you just drop them on your shelf. And then I like to take something and straighten out one side. Let's see if I can get them. There we go. Sort of straighten out one side. So I at least know I have one good side to work with. This, you know, if you have it jumbled on both sides, it sort of limits what you can use. So this one is this one fired. So you can see there's no clear on it. And I kind of straightened out this edge. But do you see how this bottom one right here wasn't long enough? Well, that means I'm going to have to cut that off right there, and I lose all of this. That's why I try and line them all up, at least at one side. This side I don't mind cutting off, right? The other option, like I said, was to take a piece of clear and put your stringers on top of it. I can just put these stringers right on top of it. And if you get them balanced well enough, if you can get them in the kiln, there's no need for glue or anything, and there's no need to put these little stoppers, but you absolutely can. There you go. I have a little white one over here that's trying to run away. There you go. And you know, you can make a pattern or you can do it random. Totally up to you. Let's see. This one kind of did a pattern. Kind of. This one, kind of a pattern. But something like this, totally random, right? So you don't know what you're going to get, sort of. Now this one, I did 3 layers of 1mm stringers. Can you see those 3 layers right there? So the center layer is a transparent blue. And what I've done is, see how these are going up and down? And these are going side to side? So I just, sort of a crosshatch, I guess you'd call it. So I got these, let's see, this. So for that one, that is similar to this one. I just did some really bold colors so that you could kind of see what happened. This is the, I put this down first, yellow and black. Do you see that yellow and black? And that's going this way, up and down. Then I did white going this way. So it's on the kiln shelf like this. Did the yellow and black, then I did white, and then this way, on top, I did this blue and black. And it was, not my favorite colors, let me tell you. But I did it so that you could see the layers. And I think you can. If you look close, you can see that white. Do you see that white right there? You can see it down there. You can see it right along the edge, kind of, through that blue. A little sloppy, but you get the idea. And so for that, just lay them down. Get them flat. I only want 1 layer because I'm going to be adding multiple layers above it. All right. And I laid my white ones across here. Bit of a challenge. Here's where I would use glue or hairspray or whatever you use. Boy, these guys are just like running amok. But clear would be a nice layer to do. Going across here, some type of clear or transparent. I think that, I like that better. But this is all 1mm stringers. I'll end up with 3mm when I'm done, right? Okay, so you see I got the green and black going this way. I've got the white going this way. And I would do more white. I would fill up the entire thing. And then I would take these little puppies and go this way. All right, you got the idea, right? There you go. And I would straighten them out and I would add more. And okay, so that's without any clear glass. Remember, you can do just many layers of 1 or 2mm. You can do many layers crosshatch, again without clear. You can put clear under it, thin, regular. Just remember, it's going to be a little thicker, a little heavier if you put the clear under it. If you don't have the clear, it's going to be a little thinner. It's going to be a little thinner if you use 1mm. Depends on how high you stack it. Here you go. This is one stack that I did. And these little earring pieces, let's see if I can lay this out. How about if we move that? There we go. This is close. This might be it. Yeah. That was one little stack that I did. And then I cut them apart. And it's a pendant and earrings. And so this little guy can be cut apart for pendant and earrings. My preference is the tile saw. That's where I'd go. Because I'm a huge fan of the tile saw. But you can use your cutter. Do I have a cutter? Yes, I have a cutter. And you'd want to make sure it's pretty straight, right? But oh, how do you fire these? Once you get to this point, or this point, you're going to fire them 350 degrees to 1400 degrees. Hold for 10 minutes. About that. Some of these I did 1410. Some I did 1400. Just depends. But you have to test it. And really what I do is start at that 1400 and then go to 1410. And I'll refire it and refire it until I get it just the way I want it. I don't want it too rough or too thin or too globby, you know. So you just have to find the right one. But about 1400. Then once you cut them, you're going to fire polish them. So, yeah, see how we cut that other edge. I don't like that uneven edge. But can you see that edge with the clear and the 2mm stringers? I think that looks pretty awesome. Can I stand up? Now I'm cutting on the back because it's smoother, obviously. There we go. Now if you want your earrings to be exactly the same, you would cut another strip so that these two earrings were exactly the same and these two earrings were exactly the same. Or you can do two random earrings. Can you see those? Let's see. So they're not exactly the same pattern. So that might be kind of fun. And then you've got the pendant. All right. But back to the beginning of this. This was done just with 1mm stringers. You can see how thin it is. So it's similar to this. It had more layers, but it's similar to this. And then just cut and fire polish. Really simple. If I want it to look like that sort of underwater look, then absolutely put them upside down. If you want that stringer look on top, absolutely. You can absolutely do a bigger piece. It doesn't have to be jewelry. The benefit of it being jewelry is it's lightweight. If you don't want to wear heavy jewelry, and it doesn't cost very much, right? You're just using a tiny bit of stringer. You don't even have to use the clear. But if you want to do a larger piece, I mean, these are just examples of getting a little larger, but you can go as large as you want, right? You can go as big as you want with these. If you want to use an entire piece of stringer or half and half, you know. See you guys next time. Bye, guys. Hi, everyone. Hi, Susan McGarry here. And I wanted to do an update on the stringer jewelry. The last time we were together, we made stringer sheets, I guess. Sheets of glass made of stringer, right? Some of them were put on clear. And then this one and this one, you can see, was just stringers. Let's see if it's focused in. I don't know. Can you get that? So just stringers. And you can use 1mm or 2mm, whether you're doing it just stringers or doing it on the thin clear. And I recommend the thin clear because I like it being very lightweight. So I fused those pieces after the broadcast. This one looks like it was cut with my glass cutter. And I can get a pretty good cut when I'm cutting even amounts on both sides. But when I start cutting these little pieces off, these little earrings, I don't have such luck. So I did it on my tiles. So I'm going to tilt the camera down. There you can see a little closer. So a little bit of a shine. Sorry about that shine. There you go. I need a lot of light for this, so it's hard to get it without that shine. It is a little difficult to read your comments now, though, so I'll keep an eye. Okay, so this was the original one I did that I showed you before the broadcast. And remember, that's just 1mm stringers stacked up and then cut out into little pieces and fire polished. I added some bails to them. And remember, this is the slide necklace that we did on one of the broadcasts. These little guys were cut from that orange sheet. I don't have any more of it left. It looks like I used it all. But I cut these with the stripes going down. So I cut the earrings with the stripes going down. I like it when they match. In this case, the stripes were going up and down. Let's see if I can pull that up. A little bit of a glare, huh? Stripes are going up and down, but the earrings are going back and forth. You can certainly, going sideways. You can certainly do that, but I kind of like it when they're the same. So for this one, and that's this little sheet that I made, I cut the stripes going sideways. I certainly could have cut the jewelry this way. I would cut a piece of pendant down here going up and down, and then cut two little earrings up and down. So I certainly could have done it this way, but I did it a little different than that one. Cut it this way. So I cut my pendant, probably right somewhere in there. Cut my pendant out, and then I used the glass next to it and cut out earrings. These I did a little longer. But the great benefit is, no matter how big or how long they are, they're very lightweight because I'm only using 4mm of glass. And in some cases, you might even be using less. All right, that's it, guys. Okay, you're free to share this, Thanks for joining me. Bye, guys.